Hello everyone, this is Pal Ponder on Weather coming at you with another video. Today is Wednesday, January 22nd. In this update, we're going to be talking about the northwest snowstorms that's going to be impacting the area every couple of days. Before I do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload about 5 videos a week to keep you updated. All right, so let's get started. So here, let's take a look at the overall snowfall map, and these are some of the totals. I figured a lot of you guys would be interested in this. This is the latest from NOAA. This is as of October 1st, and this is when they start calculating records. So here's an overall view of the entire United States, and you can see the legend on the right-hand side on some of the higher totals. And now, granted, these are mountain regions in some of these pink areas. 200 plus inches already up in Washington and some of the Sierra Mountains. But you can see some of the, in Idaho, you got, 65, 51 inches, parts of Montana. You can see the map. There's 103 inches here in Colorado. You can see some of the higher amounts, 40s and 50s up in the Dakotas and Minnesota area as you bleed into Wisconsin and Michigan, some of the 30s and 40s amounts. And once you get into New England, there are some higher totals, especially as you get up into upstate New York, some 40 and 50 inches. I think Caribou's at like 70 inches now, so they're adding to the totals. And down here you can kind of see the graph and where it all shakes out here down in the south. And I just kind of give you an overview of some of the snow amounts so far. But if you zoom into the northwest, this is the last 30 days, and this has been pretty impressive as these storms have been just pretty relentless every couple of days. And like I said, you can see the legend on the right here, 60 inches in spots. Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana. Utah's been getting in the action, the higher elevations in Colorado. So yeah, some pretty good snows that have fallen essentially since Christmas, and they don't seem to stop. The precipitation too over this is just the last 30 days, and it's been incredible. You can see 12, 15, 20 inches and the far northwestern parts of Washington and Oregon. You can see some of these higher totals down in the southeast. These are some of the grids. I was just looking at places in the southeast. You're running 5 to 10 inches above average. So you've definitely seen some higher totals, and a lot of this has been the culprit. And what we talked about is the transition to the elevated Southern Oscillation Index, which I do follow a lot. And you can see it's been mostly negative. And when we actually talked about the turn on a 2-week lagging indicator around the middle of November, I first saw this, which brought the elevated rain starting in December into California. And they've seemed to not typically really been letting up since. They kind of transitioned to more of the northern part, and especially into Oregon and to Washington. But it's been a relentless flow. And then, of course, the south activates the Pacific Jet. And of course, that brings the elevated moisture into Texas. I think Dallas we're hit 200% above average for January. So all the amounts you saw, the totals in the southeast are well above average. Now, if we kind of expand the view, this is a map. This is the latest surface map as this morning on Wednesday of the Eastern Pacific. Now, I kind of like broaden the view to kind of give you an overall view of what's happening. Now, here, kind of give you a baseline. Here's Hawaii. This is Hawaii, and you can see these relentless low pressures that's coming off the west coast, like pretty much every couple of days. This is a current surface map. You can see the snow breaking out this morning that we talked about with that other system that's going to be impacting the Northeast this weekend. But we've got more snow on the western side, into Washington, Oregon, Idaho, into Colorado, because these relentless systems, you can see, 983 millibar low pressures, and this is Wednesday. So if we take it on another frame on Friday, that's hitting the east. That's hitting the northwest coast. So every couple of days, we've got a system coming in. It's essentially rain as it hits the coast, but as it hits some of the inland areas, as it taps into some of that colder air, it transitions to all snow and heavy snow at times. And some of these mountain regions, I just checked, like Mount Hood, the ski resorts are going crazy. They're like, see, Mount Wood Meadows, it was like 123-inch snow depth right now after another 6 inches yesterday. And there's really no let up in sight with this. We've got a storm system possibly coming in every couple of days. This is Friday. You can see behind it, we've got another 972 millibar low pressure. So what happens? Bam! By Sunday, it's on the coast again. So dumping more rain on the coastline, and as it pulls inland, it transitions to snow, and we've got more building on the back of that. So this is Sunday, and then if we take it out another frame, by Tuesday, again, now once it goes inland, it transitions to snow. So now by next Tuesday, now of course this is 6 days from now, we've got more snow bleeding into Colorado, Wyoming, into South Dakota, North Dakota. So and then we got another system behind that, 990 millibar low pressure. So and more rain bleeding into the coastline. If we take it out another frame, you can see this expands. Now this would be next Wednesday. So now this transitions to all snow in the middle of the country, but we've got another system hitting the northwest coast with more rain. So places like Vancouver, they can't, I mean, gosh, it's been raining pretty much every day. I can't pick a day that it hadn't rained there. Seattle too, it's rained every day. And a lot of this some of this has been snow in Seattle. And I think even Oregon, there was even a confirmed tornado, an EFZ tornado yesterday in January in Oregon. So as these lower pressures can, deepen, it can create some severe weather, because if it bombs out enough closer to the coast, you can have some severe weather with these as it transitions into some heavier downpours. And then it goes into the snow once it goes inland. So this is next Wednesday, and you can see, again, we've got another system lining up, just ready to come back in. So you can see by the end of the month, into January, that system hits the northwest coast, dumping more snow into Idaho and Montana. And then, of course, this transitions to more snow once we get into the middle of the country. And of course, the early part of February, we got another system that's going to be coming into the northwest coast again. So it's just been relentless for you guys up in the northwest. Every couple of days, and we can look at even the 10-day precipitation map. I mean, you saw what's actually fallen over the last 30 days, and this will just add to the totals, and these are pretty impressive amounts. I mean, look at the graph here, and this maxes out at 22 inches, and this is a time frame between now and at the end of the month, into January 31st. So these purple shaded areas are, 12, 15, up to 20 inches in spots along the coast. And then most of this is going to be rain, but a lot of this is going to be snow and the higher elevations. And once it bleeds inland, of course, you won't get these extreme totals, but even these darker reds are 3, 4, 5 inches, into Washington and Idaho and Oregon. And as it goes inland, it loses a little bit, but you still got some higher amounts as it goes into Colorado. So if you look at the snow map, it kind of shows the same thing. Now, so you saw all the precipitation on the West Coast, all the rain, but as it hits inland, it transitions to snow. So you've got some of these extreme higher totals, especially in the mountain regions, pretty insane, 129 inches. So that's why these ski resorts are going crazy. But once it gets inland, some of these snow amounts, these are, of course, this is over 10 days, up to upwards of 30 inches in spots. So this is pretty impressive as it taps into still that some of that cooler air. But even 7 to 10 inches are fairly common over the next 10 days in Idaho and parts of Montana, and this will start going into the mountains, and eventually it'll start snowing again in Denver, probably by the end of the month. So that'll kind of give you an idea of what's actually happening for the guys in the Northwest. Like I said, every couple of days you're going to be impacted with more heavy rain and snow inland. So definitely like this video, and definitely share with your friends on the social media that's impacted in the area, and definitely subscribe to my channel, and obviously check out my earlier 2 videos on the snow event that's going to be happening in the middle of the country, in the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast this weekend as well. So I appreciate you guys watching, and definitely catch me in the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.